As little girls, most of us were taught to be likable, pleasant, easy to work with. We were conditioned to smooth over the tension, to avoid conflict, and also to make sure that everyone felt comfortable, even when we didn't. But as with every such story, there comes a point where something starts to crack. We notice the exhaustion that comes with this. We hear the quiet voice that says, "I'm not able to pretend anymore." But the sad reality is, we often find no real explanation as to why this happens and no tools to fix it. Hi, welcome back. My name is Mercedes, and I help women unlock their genius, build aligned businesses, and most importantly, become their own most trusted advisors in doing so. If this is something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my other content. The unfortunate reality is that most women have been trained to avoid disagreement at all costs. We were conditioned to stay calm, diplomatic, and pleasant in all circumstances. But in doing so, we actively suppress the voice inside us that's a lot more wiser. The voice that's tired of self-abandoning in the name of politeness. The voice that wants to speak, but out of fear, we keep it quiet. I used to be this woman 100% of the time. I said yes to new projects, extra work, last-minute asks, all in the name of being a good team player. Because, hey, corporations only reward good team players. People kept praising me for being so easy to work with. But what they didn't see was the constant feeling that I was having inside, that I've betrayed myself. Just a tiny bit, of course. It's nothing dramatic, but these tiny acts of pleasantness started to add up. And I was so afraid to speak on it. I had a fear of confrontation, of seeming ungrateful, and I feared not being liked anymore. And that self-betrayal over time exhausted me till I got burnt out. With enough time and distance to reflect on this, I actually realized that I allowed myself to be the victim of my circumstances. I was really so afraid of being socially ostracized that I chose feeling trapped and suffocated just to continue growing my career. And here's what I've come to understand in the past couple of years. This wasn't just my pattern. It wasn't just about me being agreeable or afraid. It was a reflection of a much larger system, one that feeds on our silence, our overperformance, and our willingness to prioritize peace over truth. Because this pressure to stay small, to avoid conflict, to always be likable, it doesn't just show up in our personal lives. It's everywhere, especially in how we are sold to. Have you noticed, for example, how many businesses are using borderline provocative language to sell? They claim to be thought-provoking, but in my opinion, they're not quite honest. Being thought-provoking is inviting. It invites insight and opens space for evolution. It sparks reflection. But being provocative, the way most of us experience it at least, is something that triggers defensiveness. It stirs discomfort without resolution and grabs anyone's attention without care. Brands poking at your insecurities with their marketing. Corporations using guilt to make you come back to the office. Headlines are engineered to make you feel like you're always behind. They call it strategy, but I call it emotional manipulation because it's designed to create stress. It's designed to push you into action before your intuition can speak up. I might be a little bit dramatic here, but Over time, this dynamic creates almost an abuser-victim relationship. Seller triggers your nervous system and then offers you a way out for a price. When you're constantly being provoked by media, colleagues, brands, your nervous system never gets a break. There's no pause, no breath, no space to choose your response because you're in a constant fight or flight. You stay in a very low frequency state, a survival state, and the longer you live there, the more your energy is drained. This is why so many high achieving women are burnt out. It's not from working too much, but from constantly abandoning themselves in micro moments all day long. And here's how you can make a change when you notice this happening. It starts with a shift in your attitude. When you stop taking everything so personally, when you see this type of provocation for what it is, a pattern, a tactic, then you stop reacting to it. You have to remind yourself that you don't need to prove, perform, or please in order to be powerful. And the very simple way to actually get there is to simply do what you love whenever you can. Do what lights you up and help your uniqueness being expressed. Move towards the things that put you in a state of flow, because then time will disappear and your energy will expand. And most importantly, please, do it with the heart of a child, not with strategy or agenda, but with innocence and presence, putting all criticism aside.